Hello friends, so welcome back to the PLC programming using CoDeSys. In this particular video, I'll be providing the details about how to work with any runtime in the demo mode of 2 hours and also how we can take the backup and a restore of any application after downloading it to the devices. So let's get started first with the runtime part. So how exactly we can work with any runtime in the demo mode. So in the demo mode, basically when we scan any network or the devices, sometimes we will not be able to find those devices because their runtime has got stopped after running for continuously for 2 hours, and as it is not licensed, so in 2 hours the runtime will get stopped. Okay, so in order to again make it work, what exactly we need to do is we need to go and go to the runtime whichever we have installed. So right now I'm using it here, PFC 200 runtime. So we need to provide username and password. Okay. After providing the password also, as the runtime is in stop mode, so we will not be seeing any network or anything in the IP addresses or in the scan part. So whatever we do, like system info, nothing, no information will come. So even after providing the correct IP addresses, so for example, we know the device IP addresses and put there and try to scan, nothing will be shown here. Okay. Why it is not shown? Because the runtime is still in the stop mode. So I have given username credential. So first we go and click on the, so we have two options, reboot target and stop. So as it is only about talking about the runtime, so we can click on the stop. Okay, so once we say that stop, we will get the message that it is CoDeSys control is already stopped, and then when we click on the start, we will come to know the CoDeSys control has started. And after that, when we do the scan, we will start getting the devices details. So even the IP we will get when we click on the system info, we will get the system information, and when we go and scan the network, we will get the devices in the scan network. So in this manner, we can start and stop any runtime and make the devices working in the demo mode. So the next topic is backup and restore. So basically backup and restore we do when we have downloaded the code and we want to keep the backup of those particular PLC code and restore it whenever need is come. So in the CoDeSys, we need to go to the backup and restore part in the device menu. Yeah, then we need to click on the backup and read the backup information from the device. When we click, we will get a pop-up that the application should be not running, and we can say OK. Click on the OK, so an information model will come there. Okay, click on the OK, and then it will create the application backup. So these are the files which will be getting backed up. Okay, which will save it to the device. Now create the backup file and save file. When we click on that, it will ask us a location where exactly we have to save it. Give a name for the backup and then click on the save. So what will happen, it will save this all these files into a particular backed up file which we have created, and it will show the information once the backup is created. In that file, it will show the information that where which location exactly the file is created and with what file name, and it will also show the details of which it has created the backup, and we will get the final confirmation the backup is successfully created. So this is the one way to create the backup. Okay, so once the backup is created, let's see how exactly we can utilize it. So let me download this particular program which is there as of now. So I will download this particular program. So it will take some time to get it downloaded. So once the program, So we will click on the uh, run icon on the top and put the PLC into the run mode. Okay, so let's click on the run mode. So it will change its status from stop to run. And now let's see the visualization. So in the visualization we can see that we have only one text icon and one button. Okay, now let's again go offline and let's go to the device. Double click on the device and go to the backup and restore. Now we will do the restore. So restore the backup to the device. Okay, so let's click that. We will get an information message what exactly we should be doing and what should be the state. So it asks that after the restore you need to restart the PLC. That is what exactly in the information it is written. And so it will take some time to restore the file which is selected in the file path, and then once it get restored we will get a final confirmation message that it is restored and restart the PLC. So what we will do as this PFC is the runtime, so if you see here on the visualization nothing is coming right now. So let's go to the PFC 200 runtime or whatever the runtime we are using. Just stop the runtime. After putting all the details, all the credentials should be correct. Click on the stop runtime. In the message box it will show that if the credentials are correct and the IP is correct, it will show that uh, runtime is stopped. Okay, and then we will click on the, so this message will come. We will click on the start runtime, then the same message will come that once the runtime is started. So CoDeSys control runtime is started. Okay, now let's go to the visualization. So earlier we were having one button and one text input, but if you see now this is old code which was there in the PLC. So it was having only one text icon. Okay, so this is one way of doing the backup and the restore. So it is good to create always the backup of the application so that when we want to restore it back to the old one we can be able to do it. So let me go to the visualization, just change the UI a little bit more. So just to showcase how exactly this works and all those things, I'm just creating one more button and giving names in both the button, and I will download this particular code to show that right now the code which is downloaded into the PLC is what, and when we restore it again with a different application, how exactly it change. Okay, to save it and download the code. So the as this application is there, so it will show a message that application is already there, and whether you still want to download, we will click yes, and it will start the process of the generating the code and downloading it into the PLC. So it will take some time to generate the code and compile it and download it into the device or the PLC whatever we are using. So it will take some time, and once the code is downloaded we will get the stop mode, and then we have to click on the run and we will go in the run mode. So now let's see the web visualization. So it will automatically connect, or we can refresh the page to get it connected. So in the visualization we are seeing that now we have two buttons and one text input part. Okay, so let's do this time restore with different option. So for this what I'm going to use is uh, the SFTP communication. So for SFTP communication, I'm using an application called uh, WinHCP. And how exactly we do the SFTP communication? We have to create a session, we have to provide the IP of the device, and username will be there. When we click on the login, then it will start connecting and ask for the password. So password we need to give of the device itself, and then it will get connected. So very basic process. uh, and then we need to go to the particular folder where all the applications are getting installed. So for the PFC 200, that actually goes into the option folder OPT, and the var folder. So we can go to that particular folder by going into the var, and so let me go back. So where exactly we have to go is, yes, we have to go to var. Inside var we have the OPT folder. Inside OPT we have CoDeSys, and here we will see the PLC logic. Correct. So inside the PLC logic we will have the application folder where application.app and application.crc will be there. So we need to be careful that this name should not be changed. It should remain as it is. Okay. So now let me show you. So this name should we should not be changing this any of these names. Okay. So uh, when we have to do the backup or do the restore, this name should be fundamentally the same, because that is how this PFC 200 at least knows and it works. Okay. So let me first create a boot application. So I'll go to the online in the courses, and click on the create boot application. Okay. So when we create on the boot application, it will ask us to save this application.app, okay, into some folder. So I'm creating a folder for this particular application.app because I already have multiple uh, same file names. I will be, because I will be showing different ways how we can restore it. Okay. So and show the different use cases. So once we have saved the application file, let's go to the WinHCP, and let's go back to the folder where exactly uh, that was created. So I'm creating another folder also. So either we can do it from the option which I showed earlier, from the creating the boot application, or we can uh, download it into the particular folder, or we can drag and drop also into the particular folder to get it downloaded. Okay. So these are the two options to take the backup: create boot application, or go to the application folder in the PLC logic and copy and paste into the new folder. So backup is created for the application. Okay. Now we have to restore. So as I told, I had another file. So what we will do, we will drag and drop this, or we can upload this particular to the particular folder. So we need to upload two files. One is application.app and one is application.crc. Okay. So when we upload or when we drag and drop, we will get an option that whether you want to overwrite. We have to click yes to all. Then it will overwrite these files which are already there. So once it has been overwritten, okay, till now nothing has changed, because the boot application, because PLC is still in running mode. Okay. So the boot application is still accessing the old files only. Only when we reboot the PLC, these changes will come in effect. So let me put all the things together so it will be easy to showcase. Now let's go and stop the runtime. So once the runtime got stopped, we will see that the visualization is gone, and then again we will click on the start the runtime. So once the runtime gets started, visualization will connect it back with the new application which is stored into the application folder, and that was updated. So if you see, it again goes back to the old version of the backup which I have created with only one text display or input file in the visualization. So now let's go to another backup which we created and do the same way. Drag and drop, click yes to all. Okay, so this is another way to restore it. Now again do the same steps. Stop the runtime, start the runtime. So now what we are doing, we are not at all downloading the programs from the CoDeSys ID. What we are doing, we have created the backups, and we are just putting that into the particular folder, and just rebooting the runtime or restarting the runtime and getting the updates there. So once the runtime start, visualization will connect back, and if you see, we are connected back to the another project which we just now restored. Okay, so these were the two different options accordingly which we utilized, and we restored and created the backup, all those things. But another thing, we should not be using this particular feature, delete application. So if we have done the delete application, what happens with the delete application? It will delete the application folder itself. Okay, and if application folder is deleted, then this particular feature of SFTP will not work, because SFTP feature works only when we have the boot application there, from where it has to boot. We can, even if we create the application folder and provide the application files, then also it will not take. Let me show you. So let me go to any all the any backup file which we have created, and okay, here I don't have in the PLC logic anything. So what I will do, I will create a new folder and give the name what it was given earlier, application, and create the folder. And what I will do is, I will put the application.app and application.crc file into this particular application folder. So drag and drop, put it here. Now if I go back to the CoDeSys ID, if you see, the visualization is not at all connecting. Even if I do the runtime start and stop, so runtime stop, let's start the runtime. The visualization is not at all connecting, because it is not able to find any application file because it was marked as deleted. Okay, and now even if I go and click on login, uh, so let me go to the login application. So it is started. Okay, now let me go to the login application. What message we will see is, there is no application does not exist. Even though we started and restarted the runtime, we have the application folder, but it doesn't detect. So in that case, we have only one option to restore is using CoDeSys ID and providing the using the backup and restore feature. Okay, so we can go there in the backup and restore, click on the restore part and restore the backup to the device. When we click, it will give us the information we need to check and click OK, and then it will restore the application into the device. So once it is restored, then again we need to follow the same step. We have to go and restart the runtime. So stop the runtime and then restart it back, and then we are done. Then it will start. So now the application, the boot application is there, and uh, the visualization will start communicating. So this is how, if we have deleted any application file, then this is the way. Or we need to if we have the project, then we can even download with the project. That is anyhow a known thing for any PLC, correct? So these are the 2 3 different options. Another option is also there which we can utilize. So we were using SFTP using third-party application or via our own code, but inside the CoDeSys ID itself, we have another option. If we go to the files, and when we click on the files, we can see on the right hand side that it is connected with the PLC logic folder. Okay, and all the application code whatever is there, we can do the backup from here. So what we need to do is we need to go to the application folder, and on the left hand side we can go to the particular uh, folder where we have to keep the backup, or do the restore from that particular location. So what we can do is that we can click on the application file folder and click on the left hand side arrow. So it will, what it will do, it will take the backup of that particular folder into the uh, our our system folder where we have selected to get it backed up. So this is, it is similar to the WinSCP using SFTP, but it is provided inside the CoDeSys ID itself. Okay. So now if we need to restore some file or the application file, we need to go to the folder from where we have to restore it, and let's go to the folder, click on the application app and application CRC files, and move it into the particular folder by clicking on the arrow key which is showing towards the right hand side. So when we do, it will say that uh, whether you want to overwrite or not, and we can say check the box to overwrite it for the all files, and the file will get restored into the folder. And so let me we can also do one by one. So and we can click on the refresh to see whether the changes have happened or not. Okay, so once this file have been restored into the application folder, then we can go back and do the start and stop, so sorry, stop and start of the runtime. Same thing we have to do in this case also. So the process almost remains same. There's no change in the process, whether either we do from uh, SFTP or we do it inside the CoDeSys. Only I'm showing that there are different options are there from where you can do the same thing. So let the visualization start, and we see that we go back to the original form. So let me show again with some different files, doing the same steps here. So select both the files, move it to the right, apply to all, and it will come. Refresh it to be sure that whether the files has been copied or not. So yes, it is done. So then again we'll go back and do the stop and start of the runtime, and see the visualization that whether the changes has been applied or not. So yeah, so if we open the visualization, it will connect, and we can see that after the runtime started, the changes has been applied. So these are the different options which we can utilize for the backup and restore.
Thanks for watching. That's all for this video. See you in the next one.